About a month ago, I got the highest round ever in a 2-tower chimps with round 172, destroying the world record. Then I decided to test out how much farther could I get adding a 3rd tower, which allowed me to push for another 29 rounds, reaching round 201. And today we'll be continuing that series, testing out how far you can survive in chimps with only 4 towers. But with a small twist, because if you think about a 4-tower challenge, there's 2 ways you can look at it. One of which is limiting yourself to placing only 4 towers throughout the entire game, which is how all my previous videos were structured, or I could give myself the limit of having 4 towers down at any time, which is slightly different. Because under the second rule set, I could do something like build a paragon, which does take up 3 towers to build, but after the paragon's built, it will only end up counting as 1 tower. So here's my plan in today's video. I will first do a run through with the previous rules and see how far we can get in chimps mode with that strategy, and then after we will see how much farther I can get with the new stipulation. And also guys, if you've been enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button. A surprisingly small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I'm really trying to hit 100,000 subs. So thank you for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting off with this 4-tower challenge on the map logs with placing down Azili. Azili should not be a surprise to any of you guys, because if you watched my previous video, Azili was part of the best 3-tower chimp strategy, which was the Legend of the Night Ultra Boost in Azili. So I'm thinking a good 4-tower combination is going to be those 3 towers and then 1 more. But either way, let's add an engineer in here. But yeah, I'm very excited for this 4-tower challenge. But before you guys watch the rest of the video, I need to know your predictions. We first did 2-tower chimps, which I made to around 172, and then I did 3-tower chimps, which made it to around 201. So adding a 3rd tower gave us 29 more rounds. So then it now begs the question, how many more rounds will a 4th tower bring to our setup? And I'm not entirely sure. I personally feel like 29 more rounds is unlikely, and that's due to the fact after you pass round 200, the ramping of the balloons just gets much more difficult, and the rounds in general are very hard too, because there can be fortified BADs inside of the round set. Either way, round 19, let's see if I can beat this on the next attempt. I think I can. Made sure to use Azili's Heartstopper ability. Yeah, we're good. I'm just trying to save it for a Super Monkey early. I'm still not entirely sure what I want my 4th tower to be, so I think my plan here is we'll just go with this trio for a while, and then I'll probably test a decent amount of 4th options, because this first run is going to be a run where I can only place 4 towers in total. It's not going to be using that technique I talked about in the intro, where I could get like a paragon or something and place more than 4 towers, but only have 4 towers on the screen. I'll be doing a second run in this video with that technique, and we'll see what method ends up on top, because that'll be interesting thing to kind of test out as well. But now I've got this trio, we probably should just start saving up for some Super Monkey upgrades. It was also very important I placed my engineer up here, because we want to be able to de-regrow the balloons at the very top of the map, as the Super Monkey can struggle against some of these later rounds, like round 79 in specific with those regrow rainbows. Either way, round 39 I can afford the Dark Knight, so let's get you up. I'll just keep this guy locked in place towards the top. And doing some thinking on which 4th tower to add, I have a couple ideas, because if you guys watched my previous video, which I highly recommend to watch before this one, of the 3-tower strategy, there's one big weakness of the Ultra Boost Legend of the Night Azili combo, and that was DDTs, ladies and gentlemen, fortified DDTs in specific, because at a certain point the DDTs are just too strong where Legend of the Night can't defend everything, and Azili doesn't really help you out much at all against those either, because the level 20 Hex is much better at like single target stuff like popping down BADs, instead of destroying like big DT rushes. So with that in mind, one of the ideas I have is adding a bomb, believe it or not, and in specific a balloon crush. Because just think about it. If I had a balloon crush somewhere up here with a decamo engineer, we could basically stall all of the DTs in the front of the map where I don't have to worry about them. And then on top of that, since I'm gonna have Legend of the Night and Azili's level 20 ability, being able to stall the rounds to get those abilities off cooldown will be super helpful, which the balloon crush will allow us to do. So that is my first idea I've got in my head. Now getting to that point is gonna be a little bit difficult, so I think we'll build this guy up into an overclock early. I'm going to need that overclock to defend round 63. Oh wait, purple's this round. Let's keep you on last targeting. I probably should have done that off the start. We let a couple purple sneak by, so we're gonna use Azili's level 3 ability to target this down here. We're good. And one technique I'm gonna do here is overclock Azili during round 62. The reason behind this is the overclock has over a 100% uptime on heroes. So now on round 63, I should be able to have some timing where the overclock's gonna be active on my Dark Knight and Azili at once. Yeah, when you get the overclock on Dark Knight, you can see it's active on both of these. That's huge for us. Do we defend? I think we're good so far. Yep, wave 2 is getting defended. It's low-key scary though. Let's get you up here. I don't know if that teleport was smart. I feel like it wasn't. I'm gonna die on the back end, aren't I? Because it's gonna miss its shots when the balloons are too far. Man. Okay. Try this again, and we'll teleport up here at the start. And then we'll teleport down later. Third wave coming in. Let's teleport down here now. Okay. I think we're good. I'm hoping. Can we defend this third wave? First target on Zeely. Please. Yes. Round 63 is the main early round I'm worried about with this setup. I think we'll be good against most of these other rounds, because it shouldn't be too difficult for us to save up for Dark Champion. I don't actually know the exact point at which we afford Dark Champion, though. The main rounds that are coming to mind are the other rounds with big ceramic waves. So those are going to be round 76 and round 78. This round should be easy, though. Round 75, we can just use the Hex, which is going to chain between these BFBs. And here's round 76. Let's use a Grow Blocker now, because the Engineer can't decamo everything, or not decamo, de-regrow. Can I not teleport you? Oh, I can. Okay. For a second there, I thought I couldn't. Is the Grow Blocker going to last long enough? It didn't, but we still defended. We're at 46k so far. We need 14k more for this guy. And here's round 78. Let's overclock you. This round's going to be a lot more difficult than 63. It's a bigger ceramic wave. On the bright side, Aziz leveled up more, so Aziz is going to do more damage against this wave of ceramics. First targeting. I wonder if I needed to overclock Azealia before this round started to have the overclock active on both my Super Monkey and Azealia. That might be a necessity. We need to go back to 77. I'm still thankful for the Time Machine mod. And this time around, we're going to overclock Azealia now and try to have the overclock active on both the Dark Knight and Azealia for round 78. That's the tactic. So I'm going to wait a second before I use my my Hex. Now we can use it. Yep, that cleans everything up. And then we'll have this active. Yes, we have overclock on both of these. That's huge. Let's see if this works. This is the part that would get me last time. Okay, overclock ran out on Azealia. I think that's fine though. It's closer. Can I teleport again? Oh my gosh, that's almost there. This can definitely work though. I think what I need to do is use my first teleport earlier, so then I get that second teleport back off cooldown earlier. Come on, get the teleport back. We have it. Hover now, please. Okay, we survived. Now there is a second wave of ceramics in round 78, which is camouflaged, but that wave should be much easier to defend because it can target the cleansing foam away, which is going to help me because now I'm not going to decamo the balloons, meaning my Dark Knight will deal extra camo damage against the wave. So you'll see here, even though Azealia is not overclocked, I should be completely fine against this camo wave. The extra camo damage makes a big difference. I don't think I need to use a teleport either, to be honest. Let's see. Oh yeah, easy defense. Target this back. We need this to de-regrow for round 79. Round 79 is going to be tricky, I think. We're handling. Okay, the Hex helped us out. We're only like 3k-ish away from the Dark Champion. We can do this. Overclock you again. We defended all of the balloons. Let's go. And the Dark Champion has been purchased. Now we can relax for a little bit. Just teleport this guy towards the top of the map. Throw the overclock on him, which has 100% uptime on tier 4s. We won't have to worry for a while. But yeah, as I said, we are going to be getting a Balloon Crush. I don't want to place the bomb yet, though, because I'd like to give myself options with the 4th tower. So I'm going to wait as long as possible until we add the 4th tower to the mix. So if I'm not going to build the Balloon Crush yet, next thing I want to save up for is just the Legend of the Night. We actually want to build Legend of the Night before Ultra Boost. And the reason behind that is if I get Ultra Boost first, the save for Legend of the Night simply is not possible. The rounds get too difficult beforehand. Either way, round 98, this round could be a little bit challenging. I probably should have used a Moab Hex, but I'm reluctant. So we'll see if I can defend without it. I think I'm completely fine. Yeah, actually wasn't too bad. And here is the round 100 BAD. Let's defend this. Yeah, this guy has pretty solid single target damage. Bye-bye. And there you go. We got a 001 Dart Monkey as my Insta. W plays. Let's hop in the free play. And I'm about halfway, give or take, on the save for Legend of the Night at this point. In rounds like this one, our Azealia gives you the biggest help, because against a bunch of ZMGs, I can just use the Hex, and it takes every single one out. You'd be lying if you said that's not satisfying to look at. Azealia's Hex is a thing of beauty. Now, round 104 might be a challenge. Target. Ooh. Wait, did I mess up by ending the previous round with my Hex? I think I did. I can try this again, but I might actually need Hex to help me out for these Moabs. What about this location? Seems like a weird spot, but I think it's gonna work. Yes, it's working. And I can use another teleport if I need to. No, it defended. Let's go. Weird location. OP. And now we can just use Hex against the back end of this round. That's what I'm talking about. That is one of the reasons why I've been loving these challenges, because Pretty much every combination is going to use Legend of the Night. This is basically the strongest single tower you can get outside of Paragons and the True Sun God, which requires sacrifices. Legend of the Night is incredibly OP, and it has a very high skill curve as well due to the teleporting factor and how much targeting can make a difference with this guy. Alright, and just like that, we've saved up 160k pretty quickly, about 18,000 away from Legend of the Night. I think I'll be able to do this, guys. Round 119, we have 3 BDs to deal with. I'm going to wait as long as possible and see if I can triple hex them. Now, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, round 122 is going to be an interesting one. This round has just a ton of VFBs. Could be pretty difficult. We're going to use Hex on strong targeting. Maybe put this on strong as well, just to try to maximize the Hex damage early. And we popped some of the BFBs down, but not every single one at once, which is important. We want to pop them in manageable bites, bite-sized pieces. Oh, that did not really happen. Now I popped every single one at once. Hex on first. I think I'm in trouble here. You ready to teleport? Now? Yep. Man, this round's probably going to take me a little bit of tries. We'll try using a different Dark Knight placement off the start. Maybe first target in the first Hex as well. Hex now. Put in some crazy work Hex. Overclock. I'm ready to teleport in case I need it. And look at the difference some Hex targeting makes, guys. Isn't that beautiful? And round 124 is a very challenging round. It's like round 122, but much more difficult. On the bright side, though, we will be able to afford the Legend of the Night mid-round here. And once we get Legend of the Night up, it's going to be super easy. Let's teleport you here. First targeting on the Hex. I'm 900 hours away. Okay. Hex on strong, I guess. Just try to get as much money as possible. Uh-oh. I might have... Hex on strong is probably a bad idea. First. Spam? Spam the upgrade? Yes, we got it. Okay. That was a little bit closer than I would have liked. But we got the Legend of the Night. And now we're just going to use my faster forward mod, throw this thing on 10 times speed, and watch the Legend of the Night just absolutely tear through these rounds for a while. But yeah, definitely saving up for the Ultra Boost next. Okay, here's the fortified BAD. The Legend of the Night should be able to take care of this without the Hex, but we'll see. Actually, it's maybe not going to be able to take care of it. I think if I teleported the Legend of the Night, it'd be better off. I think I'm still fine, though. Yeah, we're good. Okay, and just like that, I'm going to get my Ultra Boost up this round. By the way, fortified DTs, as I said beforehand, are the challenge for the setup. And we did actually end up leaking on round 155, which triggered the Black Hole. Now, that Black Hole ability, I think, has a 3-minute or so cooldown. I'll put up the stats on the screen here. I don't exactly remember. But you can't use it every single round, unless you have a stall. The reason I died last time to fortified DTs was because I didn't have Overclock active on my Legend of the Night. The timing was off, since Overclock does not have 100% uptime on tier 5s. That's the bright side about the Ultra Boost. The Ultra Boost does have over 100% uptime, so now we're chilling. And of course, with Ultra Boost, we're gonna get 10 stacks, which is an additional 67% attack speed bonus. That's right, 67%. Okay, I've pretty quickly made it around 170. I have 10 times stacks on Azili, 10 times on my Legend of the Night, and 4 times on the Engineer at the moment. And the rounds still are not too challenging, I have to say. Don't really have to rely on targeting the Legend of the Night much at all here. And at this point, I probably should think about my Bloon Crush location. A lot of you guys would initially think it's best to have the Bloon Crush in the back of the map, but I honestly disagree. I think it's better to have it in the front. And the reason why is we want to kind of stall the blimps so they don't block my Legend of the Night projectiles, as you can see here. I want to make sure my Legend of the Night can help focus BADs to then help my Azili as much as possible. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to get the Bloon Crush right now. And then on top of that, let's target my Cleansing Foam, I guess in a location where hopefully it decamos DT. So then my Bloon Crush can knock back the DTs. That's the main thing I'm thinking about with this combo. Oh, but look at this. Some of the DTs don't get stopped. I wonder if there's a better Bloon Crush location. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it in these spots for now, but I can always change the spots later. Either way, now that I've got the Bloon Crush up, this allows me to just completely focus on BADs with my Legend of the Night and Azili. In addition to that, I can choose when I want to end the rounds by targeting this Legend of the Night back in here, which will allow me to go into every single round with my Hex and the Legend of the Night Black Hole ability off cooldown. I think we're going to have a pretty free ride to past round 200 at least with this combo. And my suspicions were correct. It was not difficult at all to get to this point. Thing is though, the game gets much more difficult after you pass round 200. And the reason behind that is, first of all, fortified BADs will just be able to spawn regularly. So we're gonna have to deal with that. Now the Hex doesn't really care if it's a fortified BAD or regular BAD. But the thing that does care is my Legend of the Night, which will deal a lot less damage to the fortified BADs. Either way, got another Insta-Monkey. Now on top of what I just talked about, another difference, as you can see here, is the density of the rounds. After you pass around 200, the rounds are much more dense, and oh my gosh, I already have to use a portal. That's not a great feeling. And then last but not least, the balloons actually have a big jump in speed after around 200 as well, where instead of being about 4 times faster than a regular round 80 blimp you would encounter, now the blimps are 4.5 times as fast. So all of that combined will be a little bit challenging, but either way, since I did use Legend of Night Black Portal this round, I am just gonna wait a little while until I teleport you back in the range, just to make sure I have it off cooldown for around 202. We're defending everything so far, even the DTs. Teleport here. Let's use a Hex on Strong. Dude, the DTs are just unbelievable. I thought the Balloon Crush would be able to handle, I'll be honest. We'll try the same tactic as last time, where I overclock my Balloon Crush. We've got to be decamoing all of them, right? I guess I can try targeting my Cleansing Foam. But I feel like we were still decamoing all of them. It's just the Balloon Crush is getting Pierce capped is the problem. This time around, I'm still dead. Yeah, I'm not beating around 203. Oh man. This 4 tower chimps only added 2 rounds over the 3 tower chimps. That's upsetting. But let's go back and try a different tower instead of the Balloon Crush. I will do a Supermines in the center of the map. Now, seeing this positioning, you might think it's a little bit weird because normally you want to have your Supermines in the very back. But the reasoning why I'm doing it in the center is because the explosion radius of the Supermines is huge. And I think it's honestly going to be the most effective against DTs in the center, just so then the Supermines can pretty much explode the entire map. DTs wherever you want, you know what I'm saying? Funny enough though, the challenge with the Supermines is actually going to be saving up for this guy though. 135k is not necessarily going to be easy.
10 years later.
And we end up affording the Supermines on round 196 here. It was quite difficult to survive this long with only the Legend of the Night, Ultra Boost, and Azili. I had to do a lot of good Hex timings and targeting stuff. But as you guys know, I used this combo in my 3 Tower Chimps video, and it can make it all the way to around 201, so it still had a little bit more juice in it if I really maximize things. Either way, we're going to be alternating the Ultra Boost between the Supermines and the Legend of the Night. The reason behind that is I think it has about 75% uptime on 2 5th tiers, so it's definitely better to do that opposed to having 100% uptime on just one of the 5th tiers. And it's going to be interesting comparing the damage amounts too. Obviously, Legend of Night has about a 220 million damage lead, but when we die, I'm curious as to what will have more. Probably the Legend of the Night, but we'll see. Either way, we should have a pretty smooth way into round 200, and then we'll see. And after we hit round 200 is where things are going to get real once again. We'll see how far we can actually make it. If I remember correctly, we made it to around 203 with the Balloon Crush. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm already dead to those DTs. Let's retry that. I wonder if I can put you on camo priority targeting. I wonder if I can defend these with better targeting. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, no way we still can't defend fortified DTs with adding a Supermines. That should help me out a lot for that weakness. So around 201 should be dead here. More DTs. We have Ultra Boost active on both of these though. That defends. Yep. Let's target here. Oh no. Dude, the DDTs are so deadly. I might just need to use Portal here, but I'm gonna try again and see if like some better targeting can make a difference. First. No, I think I just need to use Portal against that, unfortunately. Might leave me vulnerable against the rest of this round because there is a ton of BDs. I don't know if I'm defending all this with Hex and my towers. Let's put Azili on first targeting. Bring you here. Come on, Legend of the Night. Do a bunch of damage. I feel like I'm dead against that last BD. Come on, pop it. Ooh. I think I need to wait a little bit longer on that Hex. If I wait on the Hex, then I can defend everything with it. Alright. Hex number 2 now. Come on. Defend. Yes. Bring you here. Come on, pop the last one. Please. There we go. Couple attempts later, we got it. And looks like round 204 is actually a pretty easy one. Let's go. So I probably will have my portal back available for round 205, which is really exciting. These last 2 BDs should not be bad. 205. What you got for me? This is actually looking relatively easy as well. I got lucky with 2 easy rounds back to back. That's the thing with runs like this. RNG definitely plays a very big role because I could have a million rounds with tons of fortified DTs back to back and then I would just be doomed. Or I could have rounds like that. Speaking about the fortified DTs, here we go. I did defend all of those without using the portal, which is huge. I think I'll be good against these last 3 though with another Hex used. If I don't pop this first one yet. I can't pop it until I get the Hex available. Come on. There we go. We're defending. Last one. Oh my gosh, this combo's doing better than I thought. I initially expected the Bloon Crush combo to do the best, but yeah, the Bloon Crush just got overrun by the DTs. Super Mines is helping out a lot for the DTs. Okay, this might be the end. Holy cow, we have, what, 4 regular BDs and a fortified. Well, actually, no, we can use a portal against this. This is not going to be the end, but we might have to use portal, is my thoughts. Let's put this on last targeting. Ideally, we damage all of these blimps similar amounts. Okay, we actually popped one down, that's fine. As long as I can defend the insides. Hex. I think I'm dead against those inside ZMGs. First. Yeah, I can't pop a BAD without Hex. Hex again now. Yes. Okay, I think this will work. Just chain the Hex between everything. Let's go. Please, last BAD. We can pop you. No portal used, guys. Round 209. Oh my gosh. This combo's going crazy. Okay, this is another very challenging round. There's 3 regular BDs, 2 fortifieds. And the spacing of them isn't necessarily great either. Yeah, I'm gonna die on this first attempt, even with portal used. We can't keep Azalea on strong targeting the entire time because I need to have her on first to deal with these regular BDs. So we'll try changing some targeting up. We'll have her on strong initially to deal with that fortified, then we're gonna move it to first. After the fortified's dead. Come on. Pop the last one. Ooh, I still don't pop that last one. Yeah, I've got to get through all 3 of these first BDs with the first Hex, and then I can portal the back one. So that's how I need to beat this round. I'm gonna need to teleport you in a second. Now. Don't leak, don't leak. No way, I'm leaking against the Moabs. That costs me the portal, and then I can't portal the... Okay, so I need to defend those Moabs. We're getting closer and closer to beating this round, though. Okay, I'm trying last targeting a bit on my Legend of the Night to focus this back stuff. Okay, bring it down here. There's no way. I think this is just last round, guys. I've tried this round a bunch. Even with the portal used, I don't see myself beating it. So round 210 is the limit for 4 tower chimps when only placing 4 towers. But now we're going to see how far we can go where the 4 tower chimps is a limit of having 4 towers in the screen. And to do that, we're changing the map to 3 mines round. So here's my initial plan with this challenge. I think I'd like to try to get a tack paragon up. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous with only placing 4 towers. I'm not sure if it's possible, but I've got a couple ideas around it. So here we go. Off the start, we're obviously going to start with a tack shooter and start removing these guys as well. Now, the one problem about going for attack paragon is the paragon itself does not have camo detection, and the 5th tier attacks also don't have camo detection. So the 4th tower I bring during the save up has to give me a full decamo, which you could say bring Azalea Ryan. Azalea's gonna make it easy, but the problem with that is Azalea does not decamo every balloon. Rounds like round 95 will get you. By the way, it's also upgrades super range attacks on this. That should allow me to defend. So my initial thought as a 3rd tower option is something like an overclock. We'll try that first. But yeah, there shouldn't be too much to say about the early game with this combo. Just trying to defend the rounds as cheaply as possible with getting these removals done early. I'm going to need more defense here soon. I think we're just going to build this into a blade shooter. This will be my super Maelstrom spot. And where do I want to have my other 5th tier attacks? I mean, the attack zone's not going to deal that much damage at the end of the day. I guess we'll have it like right around here. Also, as for the super Maelstrom cross pathing, we're going to get the top cross path on it. I'm not exactly sure which Maelstrom pathing is better. The top path gives you more damage while the ability is active, but the bottom path allows the ability to last longer. So there's definitely advantages to both paths. We got the 2nd removal done though. Let's start the 3rd. And I think this is going to be my Inferno Ring spot as well. The Inferno Ring cross path is another thing that needs to be thought about. I feel like here I'd rather have range on it, just because that gives the Meteor more pierce. And I can't really pierce buff my tack shooter with anything anyways, due to the tower limitations. By the way, round 40, am I good here or do I need more defense? I think I need more. Let's go for a tack sprayer then. I think this will defend. Ooh, still not enough. Maybe also upgrade my cleansing foam into a pen. That could possibly help me out a little bit because this allows the cleansing foam to slow down balloons. You can see it here in a second. The ceramics get slowed slightly. Oh yeah, that actually made a big difference. All right, and the 3rd removal gets done on round 47, so we can start the 4th one now. My next purchase is going to be the Ring of Fire, by the way. And with that, I should have a free ride defensively for a while. We have enough Moab class damage to deal with these Moabs, and the Ring of Fire is basically going to pop every single balloon for us. Especially on this map. This map has a lot of overlap with a decent bend for it. The Ring of Fire spot's not too bad. If I were to guess what our main challenge is going to be in the save up for the Tack Paragon, I'd say DDTs. Since the Super Maelstrom doesn't have lead popping, the tack zone doesn't, it's really going to be the Inferno Ring trying to solo all the DTs, which I'm not sure how that's going to end up playing out, but we'll see. Okay, fortified Moabs. Do I have enough damage for these? I might struggle against the fortified ceramics. No, I defend those. Alright. In round 63, I'd imagine Ring of Fire is enough to pop this stuff, but yeah, we're good. It gets Pierce capped. We are still good though, with the 3 loops. Alright, and we got the next removal done, but I still am 9k short of starting the 100k removal, so we're gonna have to defend for a couple more rounds first. I think we'll afford it on round 72, which means if everything goes according to plan, I'll have this money on round 92. Okay, I'm gonna spam it. Yeah, there we go. We started it before that round ended. That was perfect. And now that we've started the final removal, I am free to spend all the money I want on these tack upgrades, which now that I'm thinking about, since I have to wait till round 92 for the big cash influx, I kind of need to save for an Inferno Ring, right? Because if I go for like a Super Maelstrom or a tack zone, I'm just dead against around 90 DTs. I also think I'm in trouble in round 78 too though, because I'm pretty sure one Cleansing Foam won't be able to decamo the entire camo wave of ceramics. I didn't really target in the best location either. So I think I might need an overclock for this round in all honesty, which I do afford, but not at the start of the round. I'm starting to have my doubts already about this combo, guys. Okay, here we go. Maelstrom. There we go, we defended. And I'm pretty sure against the ZMG, I'm going to need to buy like an overdrive, which is going to make saving for the Inferno Ring even more difficult. Actually, no, we defended that with just overclocking my Maelstrom. Oh, but I'm dead on round 81. Man, this is difficult. I feel like this just isn't going to work, I'll be honest, guys. There's too many complications with the overclock. Also, the fact that these 2 5th tiers aren't going to go pop DTs. We're just going to die against some of the future DT rounds. So let's cut our losses here and try a different 4th option. And the next 4th option we're going to test out is a wizard. That wizard being a Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness should be good for a couple reasons. First of all, it's a full decamo, so we're not going to have to worry about random camos sneaking by. And also, it does help us out for DDTs, which were one of the main concerns last time. The early game is not going to be too much different, though. We're going to start this 25k removal on round 47, and then start the 50k removal on round 57. And I think we'll start the 100k on round 73, one round later than last time. And at this point, I think just rushing the Prince of Darkness is the best play. Try to get the Prince of Darkness as early as possible, which the Necromancer in itself is pretty strong, so it should give me enough defense to handle a lot of these mid-game rounds. Oh, round 76. No, that didn't even regrow farm too badly. My only concern with this, though, is I don't think... Yeah, we're not going to afford Prince of Darkness before we pass around to 80, which this is when the rounds are going to get very difficult. I don't have enough for, like, a tack zone either, so we couldn't even, like, reroute our defense if I wanted to. Pretty sure we're dead here. Yeah. What would this look like? Blade Maelstrom into Super Maelstrom? If I can beat this round, we can get Super Maelstrom up next round. This might work. It looks like the Maelstrom does pop the ZMG much quicker. One lap through, we pop the layer, which is huge. Come on, Maelstrom ability again. Yes. We're gonna target you all the way in the back. And I think we're good. Now, I'm guessing we still can't save up for Prince of Darkness. I'll probably need to buy Super Maelstrom first, but let's see. Maybe there's a chance. Let's use Maelstrom ability now. No, there's no way I'm defending all those ceramics. Wait, actually I am. Huh. Necromancer's kind of cracked, guys. Not gonna lie. Yeah, we defended that. Okay. I think fortified BFBs are gonna be scary, though. Because it's gonna take me, like, 2 laps to pop the layer. Yeah, there's no way I'm defending these. Dude, I'm like 3,000 off. Man. Alright, let's just get Super Maelstrom, then. That should make this round pretty easy. It is quite strong on this map. Yeah. Just like that, we get Prince of Darkness up on round 88. This combo might actually be able to save it up, guys. We still have a long road ahead of us before I can get the tack paragon, but I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable now, I've got to say. By the way, okay, and we also got the 160k from this removal, but by the way, I was thinking about what to build after the tack paragon, because you have to remember, we're going to have, what, 3 tower slots available after I build this guy? So one of those obviously is going to be a Zeely. Another one's going to be Prince of Darkness, which means what would I want for the 3rd and final tower? Probably Legend of the Night would be my guess. Having that black hole would be nice, but there's definitely other options too. So I guess we can just think about it. But the first objective is obviously we need to save up 216k for this Crucible of Steel and Flame. That's not easy to do. Defending these rounds is seeming pretty easy right now, though. Ooh, fortified DTs. We're still good. Probably keep us on strong targeting, in all honesty. The Inferno Ring. And here's the BAD. Okay, we popped that in like 1 loop. That wasn't too bad either. There you go. 100 rounds has been beaten. Let's go into the free play. Peering like the Inferno Ring and the Prince is enough to handle, though. Again, the other tacks don't really do anything here. I guess they help out a little bit for the ceramic cleanup, but besides that, they are 0 help. Oh, that still didn't defend. It was close though. What if we target the Prince of Darkness all the way in the back and put you on strong targeting as well? I don't know if the targeting does anything for the Prince, but maybe. Come on. Yes? Okay, we defended. That makes me worry though, because we're still 50k off the Crucible of Steel and Flame. It's not like we're necessarily close yet. Round 107 also might be a difficult one. It's just a boatload of ZMGs. Come on, let's use another ability here. I think I'm okay against this though. Yeah, the dense rounds are not necessarily terrible for our setup. It's more so the DT rounds that I'm worried about. And we've got DTs in round 112, so this might be the end. Dude, no way. Defend! Somehow defend the DTs. Somehow defend the DTs. That was actually kind of close. Wait a second. Let's try the in-circle targeting tactic. Maybe first on the Inferno Ring? The problem is all these BFBs are blocking. Yeah, that's not going to defend. Man! Unfortunately, this is not going to save for the tack paragon. We're about 20k off, which sucks. I've got one final idea of a combo that can work to save up for it. And that combo is the Coat of Arms Village, which I'm just going to have in this location. And yeah, Village should be pretty helpful because one, it gives me the camo protection, which I need, but also gives me MIB, which will allow the Super Maelstrom and Tack Zone to pop DTs. But I'm assuming an MIB won't be enough extra damage, so that's why I'm thinking we probably need to build this to a Coat of Arms. If this doesn't work though, we might just be cooked and not be able to save for attack Paragon with a 4-tower strat. On the bright side, as per usual, these early rounds are not a challenge at all, so we can just straight up fly through these with the faster forward mod. Looking like we're going to start this 100k removal on round 72, probably? Might be around 73. I don't know if I make enough money from these mobs. I think it's going to be around 73, yeah. Oh well. And I'm going to do the exact same tactic as last time, where I get the Super Maelstrom first. Yeah, it looks like we afford around 79 here. I was hoping I'd be able to afford the Inferno Ring in time for the DTs, but that's definitely not going to happen. So what I'll do instead is get an MIB up. Let's see how we look against these DTs. Oh yeah, not a problem at all. Alright, there we go. Get the Inferno Ring in here. And we'll try saving up for the Tack Paragon without the Coat of Arms, but again, I'd imagine we need to get Coat of Arms first. And honestly, we might need to get Homeland defense first. But the problem with buying Homeland is that that's going to delay my Tack Paragon so long that I don't know how that'll end up playing out either. Alright, BAD's dead. Pretty casual 164k spare Chimps run. We'll take that. Or 163.9k. Okay, and round 103 is probably going to be the first round that might give me a little bit of a challenge. Bunch of fortified ZMGs. And no Prince of Darkness means we don't have the undead stuff, which gives me a lot of consistency with the defense. You know what I'm saying? Looks like we kind of are defending. Nope, we're dead. Let's just get the Coat of Arms up. If I'm already struggling on this round, there's no way I'd be able to save up for the Paragon without it. Coat of Arms makes a pretty big difference though. And we're good. This was the round we died to last time. And I'm dead. Wait a second, no. Do I need to do round 111 again to have my abilities at better timing for round 112? I think I need Coat of Arms for this. Please, Coat of Arms. Wait, we got it? Alright, please work. Let's go first targeting now. 2 DTs, please, last DT. Okay, ooh, that was close. We almost died. I saw the ceramic's like about to leak. We're 20k off on the save up now. And honestly, even if I can afford it, it's best to wait to get it as long as possible, because the longer I wait, more Paragon pops I'm going to have. I still don't have near the max amount of pops for max Paragon. And I think technically it's going to be this round that I can afford the Paragon if I want to get it this round. But again, we're going to try to wait as long as possible. But that does answer my question. It is technically possible to save for the Tack Paragon with only 4 towers placed, which is kind of crazy to think about. I could afford it right now. Alright, I've tried it a bunch of times. I can't beat round 119, so here's what we're going to need to do. I need to get the Tack Paragon up, which what degree am I going to get here? Let's see. 50. Not necessarily as high as I'd like, but I'll take it. Oh, but I now just realized an issue. The Coat of Arms doesn't give camo detection to this guy, right? Yeah, so even though I have the Tack Paragon up, I'm still dead to DTs. So I need a second decamo, or a second camo option. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, Zeely does decamo at a certain level, but I don't think that's until super high. Yeah, we only can get level 5 as Zeely. It's gonna be like, it's level 16 that you need, so that's not gonna work either. Well, then I think we'll go for a submarine to decamo, because then I can upgrade that to an Energizer to help Azealy's cooldown. But it does feel kind of weird having a Coat of Arms and an Energizer on our screen. But either way, we are going to do this again, just because I can get a couple Tack Pops before I build the Tack Paragon. maybe be able to squeeze out an extra degree or something. All right, coat of arms now. Let's get the tack paragon up now. What degree? 51, I got one more, okay. And then we'll get a reactor right here. Through that process, I did not have more than 4 towers on the screen, by the way. And as for the last tower, we're gonna get a Zeely down. So really, this is basically having 2 towers on the screen, the tack paragon and a Zeely. But I needed to have the coat of arms to save up for the tack paragon, and I need this reactor to decamo for the tack paragon. So I actually don't know if this will last longer than the previous combo or not, but you know, it's best to try out. And on the bright side, we're gonna get 20% reduction on a Zeely as well with the Energizer later. Let's see how we look. So far, we're just defending everything pretty easily. As you'd expect, we're not very deep into the game. And if this combo doesn't make it very far, I could try switching out the reactor and a Zeely and go for like an Ultra Boost with Legend of the Night, which means this village would have more of a use in the second scenario because it could have Homeland Defense for Legend of the Night. The only problem with the second scenario is I won't have Moab Hex because I wouldn't have a Zeely in that combo. But I'll first see how this first combo does with degree 51 tack paragon. All right, round 140. Fortified BAD gets dealt with from the ability. That was actually really easy. And so far, the tack paragon is still just absolutely destroying everything. That's good. It's exactly what we want to see here. All right, we've got a Zeely level 20 now. Haven't needed to use the Hex yet, though. I think I'm first just going to see how long we can survive without using the Hex, because I'm curious about that. Just the tack paragon at degree 51 with a decamo. How far can that make it? Okay, I think this might be the ending round. Yeah, round 168. Ooh, can a Zeely's Hex give me an extra like 40 rounds? Probably not. I guess we'll see. We can also, I guess, crosspath this and get Homeland Defense up. Maybe use Homeland Defense a little bit. I don't think it's really going to make any difference. I think a bit of the problem this round is the last BAD was like popping over here, and I have to wait for the DTs to enter the submarine's range to decamo, which doesn't give the tack paragon necessarily as much time as I'd like to defend those DTs, you know what I'm saying? That did defend though pretty easily. And at this point, I'm just gonna pretty much use all of my abilities off cooldown, where we'll be spamming the abilities like crazy. Okay, this round actually has a lot of BADs. It looks like I'm completely fine though. All right, round 176. This round's actually looking a little bit scary with a bunch of blimps. Attack ability. Oh, we're dead. Okay. If we're struggling already, I bet we could beat 176. There's no chance we're making it to 210 though. The tack paragon, even with all my work to get this guy, it's not as strong as I'd like. But what I'm going to do is go back in time once again, and I'm going to try rerouting my defense to the no Zeely strategy that I was talking about. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. We're going to get the tack paragon up right after I pop this stuff. All right, let's get you up now. Let's have the engineer in like this location where I can decamo in a bigger area. But yeah, this combo is going to be the Ultra Boost, Tack Paragon, Homeland Defense, Legend of the Night. Now, I don't think it's going to make it past 210 because not having the Mob Hex is going to hurt a ton. Not necessarily sure how we're going to pop fortified BADs past around 200, but we'll see. Now, should I get Ultra Boost or Legend of the Night first? I think we got to save for Legend of the Night first. Saving up 100... Oh, that's the thing, though. I don't know if I can save 178k. The Legend of the Night's extremely expensive, so this combo might not work either. Wait a second, I'm also dead. Let me target this like here, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the money to save up for this guy. That's gonna be very difficult to do. Okay, there's actually no shot we're gonna be able to save for Legend of the Night. I'm already dead to round 165. I've tried this round a couple times. So I think round 210 is officially the answer for how far you can survive with 4 tower chimps. It's unfortunate we weren't able to make a tack paragon strategy work because I feel like there might have been some potential with this guy if I didn't have to keep around a coat of arms village, because like if I could have removed this tower slot, I could have had a Zeely. And by the way, for everyone wondering why I did not try the dart paragon, I basically just wrote this guy off because if you're not on a map with good obstacles, the dart paragon does barely any damage. Tack Paragon does significantly more, so this wouldn't work out well. But either way, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I am very excited to do the 5 tower chimps because with an additional tower, we could definitely make a Tack Paragon strategy work pretty well. And if you guys did enjoy, please hit the like button, subscribe, that would mean a lot. I'm like out, peace. Have a good one, guys. And also, if you guys missed my 2 tower chimps and 3 tower chimps videos, make sure to check those out here.